Hello YouTube. Today in this new installment of Fitness Capital Sins, we're going to talk about lust. Now, lust is probably the sin that is the most repressed, at least in modern religions. So it might be considered by many people as the capital sin. But in terms of fitness, for me, it is not the most important one. That being said, it might be the catalyst that motivated you to start lifting. Because for many people, especially young men, what motivates us to start is the opposite sex. We want to be more attractive for the opposite sex, so women or men if we're gay. And it's a motivation that is not impure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Uh, it is something that is purely biological. We realize that we would be much more attractive and much more desired if we showcased certain traits that could be described as masculine or androgenic. And that motivation propels you and is going to fuel your first gains. But eventually, you should come to the point where it's not your number one goal anymore. Certain people never graduate through that, they always stay at that level, and there's nothing wrong with that. And usually, these are the type of men who are going to go for a very aesthetic physique. They're going to develop their core, they're going to develop their pecs, their arms to an extent. They might not care about training legs at all or upper back because they realize that, at least for the vast majority of straight men who want to attract women, women don't really want massive dudes. There are a few deviants out there, but the vast majority would want Brad Pitt in Fight Club. So once you get to that level, which is very easy to reach for most men, there's no need to keep progressing. But that's an issue in and of itself. Because you're stalling your progression, you should keep growing. Now, this is purely based on my understanding and experience of what I see as being a man. But for me, I want to push the limits of what my body is naturally possible as much as possible. I want to get as big as my body allows with as low as a body fat as I can. Why? Because for me, this is the pinnacle of masculinity. And this is driven primarily by lust. Now, bear with me here because this is going to be maybe a tough pill to swallow, but the sport of bodybuilding is centered around the admiration of the male body. Meaning that on one hand, there's going to be a lot of homosexuals that are going to be very attracted to the sport. Why? Well, because it's a showcase of what they lust after. So of course they're going to be attracted to it. But on the other hand, the vast majority of bodybuilders are straight. So what is going on here? Well, it's a different type of lust. You have sexual lust, and then you have what some people refer as masculine fantasies or male power fantasies, right? This drive that men have to be the biggest, to be the strongest, to be the most competitive. This is what pushes us. And what is the catalyst of that? What is that image? It's the male body pushed to the limits of muscularity. This is why on YouTube Fitness, this is why on Instagram, the vast majority of people who follow those tough, big men are going to be other men. Why? Because they aspire to be that. The men that they follow become an image of what they wish they were. And they can become that as long as the man is natural, of course. So this is, for me, the real lust that englobates the fitness community. This is what you're going to have to deal with. And you're going to have to deal with the negative consequences of that, just like you would with sexual desire. On the part of sexual desire, a lot of men reach the physique that they think is going to get them laid, and it doesn't happen. And the frustration that emanates from that is, frankly, insane. And it can turn some people really mad. And on the flip side of that, even if you do manage to get to that level of muscularity where you are now popular with women or men, it might not be enough. You might be stuck in that endless competition of wanting always more and more and more. Why? Because your mindset is stuck on that lust. You have a desire that is never going to be satisfied. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it doesn't damage your mental health through body dysmorphia, always wanting more and wanting to accomplish the maximum of what you can and having that vision in your mind that some might call unrealistic is not a bad thing. It becomes a capital sin of fitness if it lets, or rather if you let it distract yourself from your goals. Just like I said before, if you let the chase of the opposite sex completely deviate you from becoming the best that you can be for yourself, on the other hand, that lust for power and for size can lead to your own destruction, and it can turn you into someone very bitter, very angry, if you reach a point where you start believing in yourself that you cannot reach that goal. That lust, that primal energy that should be used to motivate you and push yourself, is going to rebound back to you, and you're going to either suffer a lot of pain, or you're going to redirect that pain to other people. And most of the time, these people are going to target individuals that accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. So this is pretty much my take on the capital sin of fitness, lust. Let me know in the comments what you think. I know it's a topic that is very interesting. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts about that. So please don't censor yourself. Let me know what you think and we can exchange together. Thank you. Have a good day.